The sun rises slowly, casting its golden warmth across the African savanna, painting the land in hues of amber and gold. The air is crisp, filled with the promise of a new day, and the world seems to hold its breath in anticipation. Golden light spills across endless grass, each blade shimmering as it sways gently in the morning breeze. The savanna awakens, alive with the subtle rustle of life hidden among the grasses. In this vast, untamed landscape, a tiny creature takes his very first steps. Simba, a lion cub, his fur a soft spotted gold that glows in the sunlight. He is small, almost lost among the towering grass, but his spirit is bold and unafraid. Each blade of grass looms above him like a towering giant, every sound and scent a thrilling new discovery. The world is enormous and Simba is eager to explore every inch of it. Simba wobbles forward, his legs still unsteady, but his eyes are wide with wonder and curiosity. Every step is a challenge, every stumble a lesson in the art of growing up. He follows the comforting scent of his mother, her presence a protective shield that gives him courage. She moves with grace and strength, always keeping a watchful eye on her adventurous cub. A butterfly flits past, its wings catching the sunlight, and Simba bats at it with clumsy paws, a bundle of instinct, innocence and playful energy. For a moment the world is just him and the fluttering wings. The world stretches out before him, immense and mysterious. The acacia trees stand like ancient sentinels on the horizon, their branches reaching skyward, silent witnesses to generations of life on the savanna. Simba lets out a tiny squeak, a call for reassurance in this vast new world. His voice is small, but it carries the hope and excitement of a new beginning. His mother responds with a gentle chuff, a soft rumble that tells him he is safe. She watches over his small adventure, her eyes filled with love and pride. Every step Simba takes is a lesson, every sight a new discovery. The world is a classroom, and he is its most eager student, learning the ways of the wild with each passing moment. Soon, exhaustion overtakes him. Simba collapses into his mother's shadow, nuzzling against her strong, reassuring leg. Here in the cool shade he finds comfort and safety. The savanna stretches endlessly before him, a breathtaking mosaic of life, challenge and opportunity. Herds of antelope graze in the distance, birds call from the treetops, and the promise of adventure lingers in the air. For now Simba is safe in his mother's love, a small prince dreaming of the adventures that await him in this vast, wild kingdom. The journey has only just begun. Simba's world is the pride, a sprawling family of lions. He tumbles with siblings, nestled close to the lionesses for warmth and comfort. His mother with patient eyes is his shield and first teacher. Her rough tongue grooms him, a deep expression of affection. The pride is a complex society, its rules learned through observation. Simba watches the dominant male, his father, move with quiet authority. Life in the pride is a lesson in sharing and social bonds. The cubs wait their turn at the kill, learning hierarchy and patience. His mother ensures he gets his share, nudging him forward. In the afternoon heat, the pride rests in the shade, a patchwork of golden bodies. Simba dozes, pressed against his mother, part of something larger than himself. Here, surrounded by family, he is a link in the enduring spirit of the savanna. Play is a young lion's work, and for Simba every day is filled with it. He and his siblings chase each other through tall grass, their games rehearsals for survival. Simba mimics the adults, learning to stalk and pounce, his tail twitching with excitement. He learns to use the wind to approach unseen, absorbing lessons by imitation. Playfights with siblings teach him strength, balance, and the limits of others. He learns to read body language, anticipate pounces, and defend himself. The world is his classroom, every creature a lesson. His mother tolerates his antics, occasionally reminding him of manners. Through play and observation, Simba transforms, preparing for the challenges ahead. Even as a cub, Simba's bold spirit shines. From the moment he first opens his eyes to the world, there's a spark of curiosity and courage that sets him apart from his siblings. The vast savanna is both playground and classroom, and Simba is eager to explore every inch of it, his tiny paws padding through the tall grass with boundless energy. He stands his ground during feeding, growling with determination. Even when his siblings jostle and push, Simba refuses to be intimidated, showing a stubborn streak that hints at the leader he's destined to become. Every meal is a lesson in resilience, and Simba learns quickly that survival requires both strength and wit. It's a spark of the leader he'll become. His eyes, wide and alert, scan the horizon, absorbing every detail of his surroundings. He watches the adults closely, mimicking their movements and trying to understand the unspoken rules of the pride. He tries to roar like his father but only manages a squeaky cough, yet he never stops practicing. Each attempt is met with gentle encouragement from his mother, and Simba's determination only grows stronger. He dreams of the day his voice will echo across the plains. His courage is tested daily, like when he faces down a curious jackal, feeling the thrill of victory. These encounters are more than just games, they are the first tests of his bravery, and Simba meets them head-on, his heart pounding with excitement and fear. These moments build his confidence, teaching that bravery is acting despite fear. Each small victory, whether it's a successful pounce or a daring stand, adds to his growing sense of self. Hunting games grow more serious. He and his siblings attempt to corner prey, learning teamwork through failure. The playful chases become lessons in patience and cooperation, as Simba discovers that true strength lies in unity. Simba begins to lead, directing his siblings with sharp yips and nudges. He takes charge during their mock hunts, guiding them with a confidence that belies his age and learning the importance of responsibility. He learns to think strategically, not just as a fighter, but as a leader. Observing the adults, he starts to understand the value of patience, planning, and timing. Skills that will one day serve him well. Each small act of defiance, each attempt at leadership, shapes his destiny. Simba's willingness to challenge the status quo, to step forward when others hesitate, marks him as different. The pride starts to notice his initiative. The elders watch with a mix of amusement and approval, recognizing the early signs of a future king in their midst. Simba's journey from playful cub to future king has truly begun. With every step he grows bolder, more sure of himself, and more aware of the responsibilities that await him. The lessons of the savannah are molding him for the challenges ahead. As the sun sets, Simba looks out over his kingdom to be, filled with hope, determination, and the promise of greatness. The savannah's abundance fades with the dry season. Hunger sets in. The once lush grasslands are now brittle and yellow, stretching endlessly beneath a relentless sun. Watering holes shrink, and the herds that once roamed in plenty begin to vanish, leaving the land eerily quiet. Life slows, and every creature feels the weight of scarcity pressing down. Hunts grow harder, and Simba feels the ache of hunger for the first time. His playful energy is replaced by a gnawing emptiness, and he watches as his family grows thin and weary. The pride's patience is tested as each day brings fewer opportunities and longer waits beneath the sweltering sky. Danger comes not just from hunger but from rival lions. The dry season brings desperate challengers, drawn by the scent of weakness and the hope of claiming territory. Every shadow on the horizon could mean trouble. Two nomadic males challenge his father, and Simba witnesses a brutal fight for dominance. The air fills with roars and dust as power is contested in a violent dance. For Simba, it is a terrifying lesson in the harsh realities of survival. Loss strikes the pride. A trusted lioness is gravely injured and does not recover. Her absence is felt deeply, a silent ache that lingers in the hearts of those she protected and nurtured. Simba feels the void her absence leaves, sensing the pride's grief. The pride gathers close, offering comfort in gentle nuzzles and quiet companionship, but the emptiness remains. He learns that even the strongest can fall, and family is vulnerable. The world is not as safe as it once seemed, and Simba's innocence is slowly replaced by understanding. Hunger teaches the value of a successful hunt. Rivals teach the need to defend peace. Every day is a test of skill and courage, and every victory is hard-won. Loss teaches the preciousness of family and the weight of responsibility. Simba clings to his loved ones, realizing how fragile their world can be. The plains become a crucible, forging Simba's resilience. Each challenge is a lesson, each hardship a step toward maturity. Each hardship shapes him, preparing him for the dangers he'll one day face alone. The journey is lonely at times, but it is in solitude that Simba discovers his inner strength. The playful cub is being tempered into a young lion, his spirit forged by adversity and his heart strengthened by loss and love. The savannah's trials are shaping him for the future that awaits. Seasons pass and Simba grows, cub spots fading, muscles strengthening. He is now a sub-adult, caught between youth and adulthood, a mane beginning to sprout. The world feels less overwhelming. He navigates it with growing confidence. The memory of loss deepens his character, fueling determination. Simba watches his aging father and feels the urge to contribute, training harder and testing his strength. Playful games become competitive, his role in the pride shifting. He finds moments of quiet reflection, contemplating his place in the world. He joins patrols, helps in hunts, and learns the strategy of group hunting. The pride sees him differently now, a future warrior, not a cub. Respect from his family strengthens his resolve. Simba is determined to prove himself worthy of his royal bloodline. Simba is ready for his first real hunt. The pride targets an old wildebeest. Anticipation fills the air. Simba's role is to flank, steering prey toward the ambush. He moves with stealth, every muscle tensed. But eagerness overtakes him. He breaks cover too soon. The wildebeest bolts the wrong way. The hunt falls apart. The pride gives chase, but the plan fails. Simba returns head low, feeling the weight of his mistake. There are no angry words. Failure is the greatest teacher. Simba's shame is heavy, but he learns patience and discipline. He lies apart, replaying his error, understanding the importance of teamwork. This stumble is a profound lesson. It marks the true beginning of his growth as a hunter. Days later, another hunt, this time a herd of zebra. Simba remembers his failure, but now he is calm and focused. He waits for the lead huntress's signal, understanding the hunt's harmony. At the right moment, he explodes from hiding, cutting off the zebra's escape. He channels their panic, turning the herd toward the ambush. All his training converges as he targets a young zebra. He leaps, claws digging in, jaws searching for a hold. The struggle is fierce, but Simba holds on, determination forged in failure. With a final effort, he brings the animal down. His first kill. The pride gathers, respect in their eyes. His mother licks his face with pride. This hunt is a rite of passage. Simba becomes a true provider. He has proven his worth to his family and himself. With his first successful hunt, Simba changes. He walks with new confidence, no longer just the king's son but a lion who's earned his place. He joins every hunt as an integral team member, his energy now disciplined and strategic. The pride thrives, hunger a distant memory. Simba stands atop the kopje looking over his kingdom as the sun rises. His mane grows, a symbol of approaching manhood and responsibility. His roar is now deep and resonant, echoing across the savannah. He knows challenges await, rival males, changing seasons, the struggle for survival, but he no longer fears them. Each trial has made him stronger. Simba is ready for the crown, shaped by love, loss, and the savannah's lessons. The prince has come of age. He is both guardian and ruler, ever watchful. The scent of dust and wild herbs fills the air, a perfume of his domain. Each breath brings him news of his world, the presence of rival males, the passage of prey, the subtle changes that mark the turning of seasons. His mane, thick and dark, frames his powerful face, a symbol of strength and dominance. It is both armor and crown, a sign to all who see him that he is not to be challenged lightly. The mane protects him in battle and marks him as a leader among lions. Simba's territory is vast, from acacia woodlands to rocky kopjes, every inch known to him. He traverses these lands with the certainty of one who has fought for every boundary, every waterhole, every patch of shade. The landscape is a living map, etched into his memory by countless patrols. He knows where the herds gather, where shade offers refuge and where danger lurks. The rhythms of migration, the habits of prey, the hidden threats of rival predators, all are part of his daily calculations. His knowledge is hard-won, the result of years spent mastering this wild domain. As he patrols, his presence alone commands respect, his authority is unquestioned. Other animals watch from a distance, wary and respectful, knowing that the king walks among them. Even the wind seems to pause as he passes, the grass bowing in silent deference. The landscape is etched into his memory, each feature a chapter in his reign. Every tree, every rock, every hidden waterhole tells a story, of battles fought, of alliances forged, of seasons survived. This is a kingdom built on memory and instinct. His paws leave barely a trace, the mark of a master predator. He moves with a grace that belies his size, each step a testament to the balance between power and stealth that defines the lion. The sun glints off his tawny coat, blending him into the land he rules. In the shifting light he becomes almost invisible, a ghostly presence both seen and unseen, always present at the heart of the savannah. For the Serengeti's creatures, Simba is a living reminder of the wild's majestic order. His presence maintains the balance, shaping the lives of all who share this land. Predator and protector, he is both feared and revered. He is the heart of this ecosystem, his story woven into the fabric of the plains. Every life here is touched by his, every day shaped by his choices and his strength. This is Simba's kingdom, untamed, unforgiving, and utterly magnificent. Here the king reigns not just by force, but by wisdom, memory, and the enduring spirit of the wild. Before he was king, Simba was a vulnerable cub, hidden away in a den with his siblings, his tiny body barely visible beneath the gentle curve of his mother's side. In these first days, the world was a place of shadows and soft sounds, where the only certainty was the warmth of family. His world was warmth, his mother's purr, and the safety of the pride's matriarchal embrace. The lioness, ever watchful, would nuzzle and groom her cubs, her deep purrs a lullaby that promised protection. For Simba, every touch was reassurance, every moment a lesson in love and belonging. Lionesses shared responsibility, some hunted, others guarded the young. The pride was a tapestry of cooperation, with each female playing her part. While some ventured out to hunt, risking their lives for the pride's survival, others remained behind, vigilant and nurturing, ensuring the cubs were never left unprotected. Playful tumbles with cousins taught him the first lessons of survival and social order. These games were more than fun, they were training for the future, where every pounce and tumble would one day mean the difference between life and death. Through play, Simba learned the boundaries of strength, the meaning of trust, and the importance of unity. His father and the other males were distant, formidable figures. Their presence was felt more than seen, a reminder of the power and responsibility that awaited him. The cubs watched them with awe and curiosity, sensing the weight of their silent authority. Simba's first venture outside the den was a mix of wonder and fear, the world immense and alive. The open savanna stretched endlessly, filled with unfamiliar scents and sounds. Each cautious step was a leap into the unknown, his heart pounding with excitement and trepidation. He learned to stay low, to be silent, to watch and listen. Every rustle in the grass, every distant call, was a lesson in patience and awareness. The savanna demanded respect, and Simba's instinct sharpened with every passing day. His mother's every move was a lesson: use the wind, communicate with subtlety, trust the pride. She taught him to read the language of the land, a flick of her tail, a pause to sniff the breeze, a gentle nudge to move or stay. Through her, Simba learned that survival was not just about strength, but about wisdom and connection. Hardships came early, food was scarce, predators ever present. Hunger gnawed at the pride, and danger lurked in every shadow. The cubs learned quickly that the savanna was as unforgiving as it was beautiful, and that every day was a test of resilience. The loss of a sibling to a hyena was a brutal lesson in the savanna's harsh reality. Grief was a silent companion, and the pride mourned together, their unity a shield against despair. For Simba, it was a moment that would shape his understanding of life's fragility. These early experiences forged his caution, strength, and deep connection to family. Through every hardship and every joy, Simba's bond with his pride grew stronger, teaching him the true meaning of loyalty and courage. The cub's world was small, but every moment shaped the lion he would become. Each sunrise brought new challenges and discoveries, and with every step, Simba moved closer to his destiny, guided by the lessons of his earliest days. As Simba grew, play turned to practice. Mock battles became real training. He learned to use his weight, find footing, and strike with purpose. His body changed, muscles hardening, mane beginning to sprout. The lionesses taught him to hunt, observe, wait, and strike as a team. His first hunt was a failure, but the lesson was clear. Patience and timing matter more than strength. Over months, he refined his skills, learning discipline and strategy. With each successful hunt, his confidence and respect within the pride grew. He was no longer just a cub, he was becoming a provider. The savanna's trials forged him into a future leader. Simba's rise to dominance was gradual, driven by strength and ambition. As he matured, he and his brother challenged the old kings, their roars echoing across the plains. The confrontation was brutal, a clash of generations under the African sun. Simba's youth and power prevailed. The old males were driven out. As new kings, Simba and his brother secured the pride's territory, patrolling relentlessly. Their roars proclaimed ownership, their presence a warning to rivals. Simba led with strategy and courage, defending against threats and planning hunts. Under his leadership, the pride flourished, well-fed, safe, and strong. He protected all cubs, ensuring the pride's future. His reign brought stability and prosperity. Simba earned not just power but the loyalty of his pride. Simba's physical presence was awe-inspiring, a giant among lions. Over a meter tall and weighing more than 200 kilos, he was built for power. His mane, thick and dark, signaled health and dominance to rivals and mates alike. Few could match the volume and color of his mane. Many conflicts ended before they began. His size and mane created an aura of invincibility, deterring challengers. When he stood tall, he was the very image of a king. His strength and stamina allowed him to defend, patrol, and rule with authority. He was the epitome of natural selection, a living legend of the Serengeti. Simba embodied the majesty of Africa's greatest predator. A king's reign is never secure. Simba's reputation drew ambitious rivals. Young nomadic males desperate for territory began testing his defenses. The greatest threat came from two aggressive brothers, their incursions escalating tension. The pride was on edge, Simba prepared for battle. When the fight came, it was brutal, Simba and his brother against the challengers. Simba fought with experience, but the rivals were younger and relentless. He sustained serious injuries, a painful reminder of the cost of power. Though the challengers were driven off, Simba's invincibility was gone. The threat lingered, and his life became a cycle of vigilance and defense. Even the mightiest king cannot rest easy. Simba's legendary size was part reality, part illusion. Genetics gave him a large frame and powerful muscles, but his mane amplified his presence. When threatened, he'd arch his back and raise his mane, appearing even larger. This visual trick often settled disputes without a fight. His confident posture and choice of high ground made him seem even more dominant. Every movement broadcast his status to the plains. The combination of real strength and clever display cemented his colossal reputation. Simba was not just big, he was unforgettable. Time is the one enemy no king can defeat. Years of battle and injury took their toll. Simba's limp grew worse, his power faded. Younger rivals sensed weakness, their challenges more frequent and bold. Simba and his aging brother struggled to defend the pride. The final challenge came from a coalition of 3 young males. The battle was swift and brutal. Simba's spirit was strong, but his body failed him. Defeated, he was driven from the pride he had ruled for years. The Savannah's law is harsh, but necessary for renewal. For Simba, it was the end of his reign. A king turned outcast. He limped away, leaving behind the only home he'd ever known. The mighty must one day fall. Simba's final days were a shadow of his former glory. Once he was the undisputed ruler of these vast plains, his presence commanding respect and awe from all who crossed his path. Now, age and hardship had taken their toll, leaving him a mere echo of the powerful king he once was. Alone and exiled, he wandered the endless grasslands, each step a struggle as his limp grew worse and his strength ebbed away. The sun beat down mercilessly, and the wind carried only the distant calls of other lions, calls he could no longer answer. Hunting, once effortless, was now impossible. Simba survived by scavenging the remains left behind by other predators, a humiliating and desperate fate for a lion who had once feasted first. Each meal was a reminder of how far he had fallen. His mane, once thick and regal, was now tattered and thin. His body, once powerful and muscular, had become gaunt and skeletal. He moved like a ghost, haunting the edges of his old territory, memories of his reign flickering in his tired eyes. The pride he once led now ignored him completely, their loyalty transferred to younger, stronger lions. But the hyenas, ever watchful, grew bolder with each passing day, circling closer, sensing his vulnerability and waiting for their chance. Each day was a relentless struggle against hunger, thirst, and the ever-present threat of old enemies. The harsh landscape offered little comfort, and every night brought new dangers as scavengers gathered in the darkness. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and painted the sky in gold and crimson, Simba found a quiet spot in a dry riverbed. The world seemed to pause, the air heavy with the weight of his journey. Exhausted beyond measure, he lay down on the cool sand, his breathing shallow and labored. Pain coursed through his body, but there was also a sense of peace, as if he knew his long struggle was finally coming to an end. He gazed across the land he once ruled, the fading light reflecting in his eyes. There was acceptance there, a quiet understanding that his time had passed, but that his life had meant something to this wild, beautiful place. As darkness fell and the stars began to appear, Simba summoned the last of his strength. He let out one final, soft roar, A gentle farewell that drifted across the plains, a last echo of the king he had been. His journey from playful cub to mighty king to lonely outcast was now complete. He had lived, fought, and loved beneath these endless skies, leaving his mark on the land and its creatures. In the end, his body would nourish the plains, returning to the earth that had sustained him. The cycle of life continued, and his legacy would live on in the pride and in the stories whispered on the wind. Simba's story ends here, but his spirit endures in the heart of the Serengeti, forever a part of the wild, untamed beauty he once called home.